Hi all, welcome to Core Java for Testers with simple programs. Today we are going to see about polymorphism. Before we learn about polymorphism, you should know what is data types, what are the types available, wrapper class, size, default value and whole numbers. I am showing it here in a table. You can have a look into this, and there are many videos available in YouTube. You can go through and see what is int and what is boolean, char, string, everything. I am just showing it here. Okay, so unless you know this, we will not be able to move into polymorphism. Okay, right. So polymorphism means objects of different types can be accessed through the same interface. Okay, if somebody asks you the definition, what is polymorphism, you can say objects of different types can be accessed through the same interface. Just make it simple and clear. Okay, so polymorphism has two types: method overloading and method overriding. What is method overloading? It is otherwise called static binding or compile time. You should remember the other names also. Sometimes the interviewer may ask what is static binding or compile time. So it should strike immediately that it is method overloading. So method overloading means class name, method name will be same, only argument will be different, and it depends upon the data type and data type count, data type order as well. Method overriding means class name only differs, which means it will have 2-3 classes, only method name and arguments will be same. That is, one activity can be performed in different ways. Now let's practically see how method overloading works. Okay, let me open Eclipse. The training is the package that we are using. Overriding. First, what we are going to see, method overloading means class name, method name will be same, only argument differs. Okay, let me create a class for method overloading. Say I've already created a class login page. Okay, I will create a new class, excuse me, called login pages, because I already have login page 1 and so many other login pages I have used. So now I am giving here as login pages as my class name. Okay, so I have created login pages as my class. Here what I am going to do, class name and method name are same, right? So I am going to create a method name here. Let say I am going to give a method name as add, and control space, method name will be added. Sorry, method name, change this private into public, remove this. Now I am going to print the argument. What argument I am going to print? Say I want to print default add. Okay, now I am going to create one more method. Again the method name is add. I am just typing add. Sorry, since the method name are same, I cannot type add and give control space bar, it will show an error. So I will type this manually, public void add, give this braces, don't forget, it will show an error otherwise. Now here I am going to give a different, I'm going to pass a different argument, and before that here I am going to pass some data type. here I am going to give as int a. So for this reason only I told you should know about these data types here. I have showed you at the beginning of the video, that is int, long, float, double boolean, these things you should know. Okay, so I'm going to give a data type as int and I'm passing some value as a. Here I want to do print a. Now I'm going to create one more method with the same name, so I'll type manually public void add. Here I'm going to give a different string a. Sorry, mistakenly I've typed question mark. Don't forget to give braces when you type manually, because when we give manually the braces will not come, so we will have to type it manually. Now I'm going to print string a. So what I'll say print a, save it. Okay, I'll create one more data type, one more method with a different data type. So public void again add is the method name, because the method name is same, and class name and method name same, means in a single class I am creating multiple methods in the same method name. I have not changed the method name here anywhere here. Okay, so now what I've given, public void add, I gave int and I gave string. Now I am going to give int a comma int b, braces, open braces, come here. Now print, what shall we print? Let's say a plus, I need a plus b value, a plus b value. Okay, then again I'm going to give one more method, public void add int a comma int and string combination, string b. I'm going to give int and string combination, open braces, come down. Now print, what I want to print is, I want the combination of string a plus int a plus string b, so I will give a plus b. Let's see what is the output after completing this program. Next I'm going to give one more method, public void add. First we gave int and string, now I want to give string and int, so I will say string a comma int b. Okay, I will open braces here, come down, sys out. I want to print again a plus b, save it. Okay, so to run any program, we need to get an output, we need a main method. So we were creating only the methods, now let us create a main method. How you will create? Type main main, give control space, you will get a main method. Here we are going to create a object. How you will create an object? Class name, object name, let's say LP equal to new of class name. This is the syntax. Now I'm going to call out the methods. LP, first we created a method called add, it is showing here. Then we created a method called add int a. Inside this, now we will have to pass some values to get the output. Say for example I am giving some numbers. Okay, now come down, LP. Next is what we give, string a. String means it's a word. Words should be given in double quotes. So inside this I will say hello come down. Next, what is the method argument we gave? Int a comma int b. So I'll pass some value for int a and I'll pass some value for int b. Then what we gave? Int a comma string b. So int a, I'll give some numbers, and string means it should be in double quotes and it should be in words. So I will say welcome, save, come down. What is the next one we created? String a comma int b. So string means, let's say hi, int b, let's say 30. Save it. Now, so these are the combinations we gave here, the business inside the, we gave our business logics. Now let's run the program and see how it is coming. See, for the first one we gave it as default add, so default add came. For the second method int a, we passed some value as 2 3 4 5 4 5 6. Then for the third method we gave string a, see, string a, and for that we passed the string as hello, so hello came. Then we gave int a plus int b, which means 10 plus 20 30. Then int a and string b, so 130. I'm sorry, welcome. And then the last one is string a int b, so string is hi and int b is 30, so hi 30. So this is how polymorphism, that is method overloading, works. This is method overloading, that is class name and method name will be same, only the argument differs. Now we are going to see method overriding. Method overriding means class name differs, method name and arguments are same. Always remember, method overriding means class name differs, which means we will have more than one class. Method name and arguments are same, and method overriding is otherwise called as dynamic binding or runtime poly. Now let's see how method overriding works practically. Since I already have this login pages class, I will create a new class called status1 class, status1 class, because I already have status here, so here I named it as status1. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a, since we already have many methods here, what I will do, I will create one or two method inside this class and see how it works. Let's say add as the method name, change this private into public, and I will say I want to print parent add. This is one method. Then I want to, because method name differs, right, in the method overriding, so I'm giving some other method name. I'm giving it as sum. I have changed. Now here I want to print parent sum. I will save it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to override. How will I override? By giving a keyword called extends. Extends status 1. I'm extending this status 1 class here in this child class. Now let me see if I'm getting this add and sum. I should get sum. Am I able to see? See, the sum has come here. It is reflecting here. So it's just because I have used a keyword called extends and I have extended this class here. Now let's run and see the output. So we extended status and we created a we called out the method sum here. So it came this parent sum. What is method overriding? Class name differs. Method name and argument are same. So method name and argument are same. This is method overriding. Okay, if you want I will show you a new example. Let's say I will create a new class. I will name it as login pages 2. Okay, and I will create a method called add. Change this private into public, and I want to print this child class, so I will give it as child add. I'll give it as child add. Then I will always create a main method in child class. So I will create a main method here, and I will create an object. What to create the object? Login pages 2. Pages 2 is the class name. I will create a class name as L equal to new of login pages 2. This is the class name. Now I will call L. It is showing add login pages. See, you are able to see? Yeah. Now let us open this status one which we have created here. Now we already have the method called add parent sum. Now I am going to extend it here by using a keyword extends status 1. Save it. Now let's see if we are able to see the method that we have created here. Add, we already have one more method here, so now it should show sum. L. Let's see if we are able to see it is reflecting here. Now let's run the program and see the output. So child add and parent sum. Method overriding means class name differs. So we have two classes. Differs login pages. Here it is called status. Method name and argument same. So method name, see, we have given a method name called add. Argument we gave child add. Here parent add, parent sum. So similar arguments only we have given, and we gave same method name also. So this is how method overriding works. So always please understand what is int, string, boolean, float, short, byte, char. Only then we will be able to move on to other topics. Even polymorphism can be will be able to understand only when you know about these data types. Okay, in next class we'll see what is abstraction we'll also see the theoretical part and practical part. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching.